Me here, I have Mr. Olumide Holloway.
Good
Welcome to the
evening.
program.
Thank you very much.
Okay, it's very intriguing, this movement, this poetry movement of spoken words. But I would like to, and I'm sure viewers at home too would like to know, how lucrative is it, comparing it to the Western world, where I'm sure poets make a good living out of
Yeah,
this.
the dream is to create an industry out of it, to make it where poets can actually earn a decent living from it.
Okay.
For now, as it is, it's still an emerging art. It's not as popular as your music and comedy industry, but it's a fast-growing industry because we're having new poets each and every day. However, most people still want you to come and perform free shows and all that, so it's not as lucrative as it should be, but slowly and surely we'll get there.
Okay, there. Yeah. Your background. What's your background like?
I am a writer, a poet. I perform poetry also, a spoken word artist, and I also promote events. And I've worked in various industries, so to say, the entertainment industry. I was briefly into financial services and all that. But primarily what I do now is promote spoken poetry events.
Spoken words. Very interesting. Did you, at the initial stage of this movement, get any criticisms from people like you're wasting your time doing this kind of thing that won't yield anything? Did you
Plenty,
encounter?
plenty. Even at a point in time, I thought my wife was even thinking that what's wrong with this man? What are you going to? But it's a passion. It's not something I could say, okay, this is the reason why I'm doing it. But it's just something I find myself doing, and I enjoy doing it because I stay up late at night, working on concepts, working on poems, working on events. Okay, what next are we doing? What next can we come up with? What can make people, want to love this art and go into it?
Yeah, I can imagine. When is your passion involved, not just for the gains? Okay, like I know you started this last year.
Yeah.
Okay, between last year and now, what's like the acceptance, the reception you've gotten from youths, especially being like, because we all know this pop culture has eaten deep into.
True. True.
So what's
It's been high because it's not just me. I have friends and a team that work together to promote the art, and because when we started the event, World Up to be precise, we started August last year. We had an average attendance of like 100 people,
That's a
but
lot.
now based on the last event we held in May, we had close to over 200 people.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a lot.
And we believe for the next event we should move higher than
Triple
that.
it or so. That's coming up this
Yeah, this Saturday.
Okay. What's the major difference between what you're doing and spoken poetry? Because it's all poetry, but what's the major difference?
Between written poetry and
And
spoken
spoken,
poetry.
yes.
Written is just words on paper
And read.
and read.
Yes.
Spoken poetry is when words come alive. There are three distinct factors in a spoken word poem. That's the message,
Okay.
the storyline, and then the delivery.
Okay.
All three have to align in order for you to feel the impact of the words. Because what even made me even go into spoken word poetry was the fact that I discovered people react faster to what they see and what they hear than what they have to read. Because sometimes I buy newspapers on Sunday, I don't read them until the next month. But you're passing along and you see somebody performing. Once the words hit you, or once a particular gesticulation hits you, you want to sit down and watch what's happening. What's this guy doing? So the attraction of sight and sound, outweighs having to sit down and read.
So of these three you've mentioned, I take it that the beauty of this lies in delivery.
Definitely.
That's where it lies.
Definitely.
Okay, that's a good one. What about the criteria for joining this group? What's like the criteria? What are the criteria?
Well, we actually had people that had been doing it before we went into it.
Oh, okay.
But right now we have a competition we call War of What, a slam poetry competition, which you have to pass through and at least get to like top 5 before we can say, okay, fine, you fit enough to perform at World Up. Because for us and for most people out there, World Up is actually the biggest spoken poetry platform in Nigeria as we speak. Because we last May we brought in Shian from USA, and Shian is one of the biggest spoken poet in the world. I brought in them all the way from USA and performed at our event last May.
Okay, so it's the biggest currently. Because I was going to ask you, what are your future plans? If you're already the biggest.
No, you can only grow. Fine. We have 200 strong people come in for our event, but we're looking at having 1,000, 1,005, much more than that. You know, at every level we get to, we want to get to the next level. There's always a next level to get to. You can't stop growing.
Yeah.
You know, because you have to expand, you have to grow, you have to look at, okay, fine, what next? Once we get to a particular level, we'll look at what next. You know.
Okay, what themes do you focus on? Because I know as a poet, there's so many things you can talk on, ranging from the things going on in society to your personal issues to whatever. So what exactly do you mirror in your poems, in your spoken?
As a group or personally?
Personally, as an individual and as a group.
It depends on what I see. It depends on my emotions, because poetry is actually when your emotion, when emotion find thought and thoughts find words. You know, so it depends on what's happening. I write sometimes about what happens in my home. Sometimes I write about what happens in the country. It all depends, you know, because, you know, when this child not bride issue came up, you know, I had to write something on it. Yeah, because, you know, I was moved, you know, because I thought it doesn't make sense, you know, and as as a friend of mine would say, whether nonsense or senseless, there's always a little bit of sense in each and everything. So, you know, what happens around you generally moves you to write. You know, it's not limited to whether it's politics or social, but you just feel the urge to write and what's come out.
Okay, but for this weekend, this edition, 5th edition, coming up on Saturday, the 17th, for those of you at home, what is the idea for this event? What message do you intend to?
Well, you have to be there to be able to.
I definitely will be there, but for the viewers, want to give them something to hold on to till then.
Okay, it's spoken word poetry like you have never seen it before. Okay. The best of the best spoken word poets are going to be live on stage and giving you words that thrill you, that move you, that excite you, that amaze you, that even makes you lose your breath.
Make them lose their breath. Really, that's really nice. One more thing we'd like to know. You have a lot of poems. Okay, can you give us like a sample of one of them? You said you had one. You wrote one down during the girl child issue, the controversy.
Okay, I've not memorized that.
Okay, any other one? Let's have a feel.
Okay, poetry and spoken words are gifts we love to share, even though sometimes people don't appreciate our talent. But sorry, let me take it in.
Okay.
Spoken word poetry are gifts we love to share. Since silver or gold, we have none to spare. We try to use our poems to make people happy, even though sometimes our people feel to appreciate as gifts. But we keep on keeping on, getting better as we stay strong. But on days when people fail to appreciate our gift, tears roll down our face. And I think to myself, talent can be a burden. Whether you have one or you have a dozen, you have to express it or just might regret it. That's why I envy the untalented. They have no reason to feel relegated.
Nice one. Nice one. I like the fusion of the words and all that. What prompted this poem? I'm sure something must have caused it. What did you see? Yeah. What did you think of?
That was the era of the criticism where I was wondering, okay, why am I actually doing this spoken word poetry? People are not making money from it per se. Should I be doing this? I should be making money, not, you know, trying to build an industry that is not existing. You know, but it's a passion. You know, I find myself doing it, and I had friends that were encouraging, willing to help, and you know, so I just had to, okay, fine, let me put words to paper on what I feel, so that people can understand where I'm coming from.
Wow. Thank you so much. It's been nice having you on the program.
Thank you too.
So viewers at home, watch out for their program on their event on Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday.
You see more of this interesting fusion of words. So up next we'll have K Night Soldiers, a festival, hip hop festival 2013. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.